Hey Libras, I'm Island Turtle. Welcome to BOMISpirit. This is the monthly general reading for Libra. Excuse me, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Keep in mind when I say monthly, I do these sign readings about once every 30 days for each sign. About once every 30 days. There's also part two over on Patreon and Vimeo if you are curious or feel called to the part two. They're usually about the same duration. Sometimes they're actually longer. Yeah, when I get into part twos, it's a really interesting thing that I've noticed happens because because people who tune into part two, there's less people tuning into part two, obviously, right? So it becomes more niche almost, like it becomes even more detailed, and we get some crazy messages that come out that partake to part one. But anyway, if you feel called to that, that's where you go for those. Also, don't forget to check out the website where I do offer astrology services as well. I am also working on courses, which I'm very excited about. It's gonna be a while till those are ready, but something I'm working on in the background of things. Anything else you need to know? No, I don't think so. Those were Libra, Sun, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. I think I said that already. Keep in mind, because I'm tuning into your energy field, this could pertain to you or someone you know or someone who is in your environment. And of course, for cross watchers, this can be vice versa. These are not necessarily love readings. These are general readings. And so sometimes we get stuff about money or career. Sometimes they're very spiritual readings as well, more so than things that are going on in your physical reality. Okay, so Libra, I just want to dive in and get started. There's a couple things that I'm getting with you. I feel like you're coming into a new level of peace. And I feel like I felt this with you, like even in the last reading that I did for you. Maybe it was also part of the weekly, but yeah, there's a level of peace that I feel with you, almost like you're learning to flow better. It's like you're really moving into that like higher evolved Libran energy, which is all about balance and harmony, right? Um, a lesson of divine timing as well, that there is a timing to everything. And part of that peace that you're learning about or embodying is really just embracing what you're working with in the present, right? It's like even if you're planning something for the future, you also have to work with what you have in the present, right? So you can understand, right, or understand how to work towards what it is you want, but also not getting frustrated if something isn't happening in a certain time, right? There's your timing and there's divine timing. You're learning how to live by divine timing in a way where you can flow with harmony and peace and in the present moment. It's really nice. I really like this energy for you. Um, what is this that I'm feeling with you? It's a lot of blue. When they show me colors, sometimes this relates to your auric field. Sometimes it also just is part of messages that come forward when they show me colors. But I'm getting blue. That's like throat chakra, third eye energy. I don't know why I'm getting impatient. That's weird with the color blue. Impatient? It's working against you. Again, this could be something that's part of this lesson of learning to flow with divine timing versus your timing. Almost like impatience, which is that feeling of like my timing, my timing, my timing is an illusion. Yeah. So if you've been impatient, Libra, or you're like you struggle with impatience, this is part of that lesson of divine timing versus your timing. There's nothing wrong with planning. There's nothing wrong with having an idea of what it is you want, but to get attached to it happening in a certain way in a certain time and it looking like A, B, C, D, E, that's when we get frustrated. That's when we get impatient. That's when we feel disappointed. That's when we can fall out of alignment and just not be able to have peace in the present moment. And again, you're learning this. There's also a faith that comes with that too. God, there's a whole lot of messages coming through you for you, Libra. Words. Faith. Yeah, faith is also part of this, right? Because it's also just having security and trust and faith that there is divine timing to things, right? And that what is meant for you will not pass you by if you are, again, in alignment, right? Just take that as confirmation. Yeah, what is meant for you will not pass you by, especially if it's like, I don't want to say this. There's a difference between attachment and expectation, right? Again, it's like you could want the things you want. You could plan for the things you want to bring into your reality. And you could have that expectation of, I will experience joy. I will have the job that brings me what it is I'm looking for. I will live in the place I want to live. Like you can have those expectations and plan for those things, but being attached to it being a specific way in a specific time with specific people, that's attachment, right? It's attachment to the details versus like knowing and trusting and expecting that you will come into alignment with the things that bring you joy and balance and peace, the things that are meant for you to experience on an emotional level and energetic level. Does that make sense? Okay. Blah blah blah. Yeah, let's go ahead and pull cards for you. I feel like I could just channel all day with you guys. I feel this like sense of hope. It's nice. It's yummy. I really like this for you, Libra. I feel like you've been fighting this. Sorry, this is like so many things. I feel like they keep showing me a heart. Sorry, I'm trying to speak on one thing and they're giving me another already. If they can slow it down, that'd be great. They're showing me a visual. I don't know if this is an art piece. It's definitely not like a visual of a card that I have in any of my decks, but they're just showing me this image, and I want to say it's almost like a painting. So I don't know if this is something that maybe one of you have painted or whatever, or maybe will paint. But they're showing me a heart, and it's like evolves into all these different colors, like it starts off like a orange yellowish, and then it's like another layer, another layer, another layer, and it goes from like orange yellow to like reddish pink, and it like, you know what I mean? It's like, I don't, it's a paint, it's like I feel like it's a painting. I can't get off of this feeling it's a painting or illustration of some kind. They're just showing that to me. And they were showing it to me when I was about to talk about 444 on my messed up clock, by the way. They're showing that to me as I was mentioning part of this flowing with divine timing, not your timing, and having trust and faith that was meant for you will be yours, all of that. That letting go, getting more comfortable with letting go. Some of you, that's also what falls in line with control, is also coinciding with them showing me this illustration. You're experiencing more love as well. Love, the frequency of love. The frequency of love, which to me is just the frequency of divinity and bliss and all of that. That's increasing for you. That's becoming more part of your experience as you're learning to let go. Some of you have also been doing a lot of cleaning house, whether that's physical house or your relationship house, your emotional house, but I feel that too. So a lot's going on for my Librans, but I feel like you're moving deeper into this frequency of love because you are embracing the lesson of divine timing is different than your timing, and following divine timing brings you more peace in the present. And of course, letting go of control is part of that. Having faith is part of that. Interesting. All right, now let's pull cards. I actually want to start off with Wisdom of Oracle for you, which is interesting because normally I use this as an advice deck, but they want me to start off with this for you. So let's do it. All the decks I use are linked below for your convenience. Any messages or invites? Invites? Are you getting a lot of invites? I swear the psychic slips that come up. Any messages or insights, excuse me, for my Libras? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Yeah, you're hopeful. I love this. And maybe it's also come like at the end of a process where maybe things were kind of like struggly, a little hard, a little dark. But because you're embracing letting go, it also means you're letting go of the struggle and you're inviting peace and surrender in. It's all coinciding. It's almost like you're embodying the star card. It's very nice. A lot of love, a lot of loving energy around you. I'm feeling angelic energy. You might be getting drawn towards angelics, or you might be getting a lot of synchronicities relating to archangels. I just feel a lot of angelic energy around you. A lot of gold, a lot of pink is what they're showing me now too. So yeah, it's almost like you're moving through the frequency of like blue to like gold, pink. Maybe that's why they show me the heart. Any messages or insights from my Librans? Oh, Libras. It's like you're lit up, but not in a way that's like, oh, interesting. Message in a bottle in reverse. What I was about to say is like you're lit up, but not in a way that's like overwhelming. It's very feminine too. So you guys could be getting messages about divine feminine energy, but yeah, it's just it's peace. That's what it is, man. It's peace. It's peace. It's peace. Anyway, message in a bottle in reverse Is this a past energy? I feel throat chakra with this, and they're bringing me back to the color blue. There's also a lot of blue in this card, but they're bringing me back to that. I feel like this is an energy you've been moving through in this whole like process of getting lighter, letting go, learning the lesson of divine timing, all of that stuff. It's almost like a repression of something, repression of truth, or not communication, it's truth. It's a repression of truth. Maybe you not wanting to admit something. It feels like there's tension there. It feels like there's tension there. Any other messages or insights? Let's see. I might even read these to you guys because they have very powerful messages. And I've said this before. I haven't said it in a bit, but like those of you who are new, hi, welcome. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share. Just saying. With oracle decks especially, in certain decks especially, I do like to read verbatim the description, because a lot of people who make these decks, they've channeled these descriptions, or they're coming from a very divine, sacred place for most of these decks. And sometimes, no matter how I describe it, like the intention behind the card, the intention behind the oracle deck, the intention behind the person who made all these cards, there's something in the wording that is like channeled. Right, so sometimes just hearing the description verbatim is almost more powerful or hard-hitting than how I would just describe it to you. But anyway, we have community, which it's funny because this is a phenomenon that I talk about too, where even if you work with a deck for years, it's suddenly like, I've never seen that card before. I don't ever remember seeing this card in this deck. It probably has been there, but I don't ever remember seeing it ever. Community with the energy of 8, and then why? Ooh, 31 breaking down to a 4. This feels like a questioning of who you surround yourself with. I'm getting a sadness. And again, I feel like this is stuff you're like moving through to get to this place of being at peace, in the way that I've been describing. Yeah, there's a sadness here. Also, I'm noticing with the 8 and the 4, there's like, I'm hearing synergy. There's something, there's some sort of synergy with those numbers, with the 8 and the 4, which makes sense. 4 is like a managing energy. It's like people who have like life path 4, it's like they tend to be managers. They tend to be people who stabilize things, hold the container, if you will. And 8 is like CEO vibration. It's like, it's activation, it's leader, it's running shit. That's why it's also magician energy. The 8 and 4s work really interesting together. But anyway, they just wanted me to speak on that. And talk about synergy. There's also like the flags across the top. It's like one is almost like on a sunset. This is almost like when things are just newly bright. Yeah, there's some sort of synergy happening with these cards. But anyway, I'm sorry, coming back. I keep getting this longing of what you want out of your tribe, what you want out of the people in your life. I think this is part of suppression of truth. Maybe not wanting to admit that the people in your life are not, they don't facilitate the kind of energy you want in your life. That's a little bit of people pleasing Libra and stuff coming up here. And there is this need to be like, hey, how do people make you feel? How do the people in your life make you feel? Do they support you? Do they love you? Do they bring light and joy to your life? Or do they drag you down? Do they suffocate you? Do they suppress you? Do they criticize you? Are they really your people? And if they aren't, why are you ignoring that? Why aren't you changing that? Why aren't you doing something about that? Yeah, there's a little bit of people-pleasing, obligatory sort of vibes going on there. Some of you, this is also about like why the people that you've wanted to surround yourself with, why they've been eluding you, or why it's almost like, do they even exist? Right? There's a reason that they just haven't come into your alignment yet, and it's probably a divine timing reason. Maybe there's something that you need to acknowledge within yourself first before you can align to that kind of a tribe, right? Or maybe it's in the works, but again, divine timing is not always your timing, right? Milk and honey in reverse, and then co-creates. A little bit of a hanged man kind of vibe here. Interesting. I'm also noticing too with these cards, they're both in reverse, but look at the numbers. 15 and 51. mirror images of each other, and then co-create with 40, another 4. So you have 2 4s and 2 6s, and the 6s are literally 51 and 15. You got a lot of synchronicities going on in here, Libra. But yeah, with Milk and Honey in reverse and co-create, I'm getting a stagnancy, I'm getting a hanged man energy, I'm getting a frustrated energy. Again, it's like learning the lesson of divine timing is not always your timing, but what can you do in the present moment to align to divine timing? How do you do that? How do you do that? You get into the present, you get into flow. You don't stay in a space of resistance or control or push. Like, you don't push against the river, right? So if something is happening in your life and you're like, why the fuck this isn't happening? Or like, why are things so hard? Or da-da-da-da. It's like, take a step back. Maybe stop trying to force something that just it's not in divine timing right now, right? It doesn't mean you don't put a 1551 when I looked up and said that. I should write this down. Hold on a second. Okay. Sometimes if things are that much of a struggle, something's not in alignment. Or something needs to be acknowledged that isn't being acknowledged, or something's not being seen. It's like, that's when you need to take a step back, right? Hey, buddy. Kitty cat's here. Because that's what I feel here. Some sort of truth is either being suppressed or denied or just not looked at, not accepted. Not accepted. It almost feels like you've been trying to, well, like anybody, right? It's like everybody wants to experience, milk and honey. Everybody wants to experience the good times, if you will, but there's an ebb and flow to everything. And sometimes there are transitionary periods. And it feels like, again, you've been trying to or wanting to be in this better energy, especially as it relates to soul tribe, or even just recognizing like the people in your life might be not in alignment with what you want, right? And again, if something in your life is not in alignment with what you want, you're not exactly going to be experiencing what it is you want. Hold on a second. Clydester. Hold on. And even if you're in a period of time where divine timing is still at work and what you want is just can't happen right now, it doesn't mean you can't enjoy life right now. It doesn't mean that there aren't blessings in your life or that there aren't things that you can be grateful for. And I also feel that too with this, like a lack of gratitude because being so focused on what it is you want, what you're trying to co-create, right? Again, it doesn't mean this isn't happening, but it also doesn't mean you can't enjoy things in your life right now. There's always something to be grateful for. There's always something that you can find the beauty and the joy in. There's always something, even if it's really small, right? Oh, excuse me. See anything else wants to come out for Libras? Any other messages or insights for my Libras? Okay, so one more card that came out, the Observer with the Fox. The Fox has been showing up in a lot of people's readings, 1818 when I looked up and said that. Observer in reverse. And I really wanted to put that with community and why. So again, needing to really acknowledge what your truth is, what you want to experience, and taking a look around, taking stock of like, okay, I'm dealing with these people or these circumstances, but they don't actually provide the kind of energetic experience or emotional experience I'm looking for. Is it because of them, or is it because of me? Or is it both, right? It's like, just pay attention. I feel like that's what the Observer card in reverse is saying. Like, just pay attention. Just pay attention, pay attention, pay attention. And again, I'm also getting a little bit too much of a hyper focus on almost like lack a little bit. Like, again, like what you want versus what you have right now with Observer in reverse. Another 4, by the way. 49 that breaks into a 4. There's someone outside playing music, but I can't identify the song. Hold on. Let's see if I can Shazam from this far away. Oh, 11:55 on my phone. Synchronicities everywhere. Hold on. It's too far away. Too far away. Oh, sorry, Libras. Hold on. Overall, we have peace. And it's interesting, right? Because we have so many fours. We have out of, can't count, out of 6 cards, 3 of them are 4s, 2 of them are 6s, and now we have peace, with 23 bringing down to a 5, almost like a transitionary numerological energy from the 4 to the 6, and here we have a 5. 5 is freedom, change, expression, with peace. And it's exactly the energy I was talking about. You're finding peace in the present moment now. Excuse me. Oh my goodness. I don't know what happened. Sorry, Libras. So that's what I'm getting with you. Before I move on to part 2, like I said, just take a moment, Libra. Look around, take stock of what's going on in your life and what it is you want, and take a step back. Get back into the present. Focus on what you have. It doesn't mean throw away your dreams. It doesn't mean throw away your goals either. Just know that divine timing for those things is literally divine timing. And until those things come to pass, work on it over time. Even under peace, we have building blocks. Over time, put energy towards that, put the right intention towards that, but it doesn't mean that you don't have things that you can enjoy now or things to be grateful for now. And to have that faith that what is really truly meant for you will not pass you by if you stay in alignment and you hold the faith for that, right? Yeah. Anyway, moving on to part 2, we're going to dive a little deeper into what else is kind of going on here behind the scenes. But if you are leaving us here, hope you guys enjoyed this, and I hope to see you guys very soon. Have a good night and take care.